Good morning students, welcome back to video class. See, so far you uploaded 3 video classes regarding module 2. In my very first video class we have discussed some of the important basics terms from the LPP, and also we have discussed what are the different methods we are going to use for solving LPP in this module. Those methods are simplex method, big M method and dual simplex method. And also we have discussed the standard format of LPP for solving simplex method, and also we have discussed how to convert our linear programming problem into standard format for solving LPP using simplex method. And also based upon simplex method, in the last previous video classes you have solved 3 to 4 problems. Again in this video class we are going to discuss one more method, that is big M method, and also it is also called as penalty method or chance method. In this video class, before going for solving the problem, just we are going to read out some of the key points with respect to big M method, and also what actually the difference you are going to find with respect to simplex along with big M method. Okay, just look into the slide, first slide. This is called, I told already, the big M method is also called as chance method, or also it is called penalty method. Just we are going to read out some of the important points with respect to big M method, and also we are going to compare this method with respect to previous method, that is simplex method. The first point, in the simplex method only those LPP problems where constant had less than equal to sign were only considered, but in big M method the LPP having constant with any sign, it may be either less than equal to, greater than equal to, or equation or equality sign can be considered, can be solved. It means that in the previous method what you have discussed, that in the simplex method only the constant having less than sign will going to be considered for solving simplex method, whereas in big M method any sign, nothing but we can go for 3 sign, nothing but either it may be less than equal to or greater than equal to or equality sign can also be solved. See, this is one of the important difference you are going to find with respect to big M and simplex method. Second point, the big M method uses the same simplex procedure with minor modifications. Later we are going to discuss what the modification we are going to do for solving LPP using big M method, and go for next one. In big M method also the problem has to be brought into standard format, where the objective function has to be maximization. If it is minimization, if it has to be converted into maximization. Same similar to your simplex method, whenever you are going to solve for LPP using certain methods like simplex or big M, whatever it may be, just to look into the objective function first. Our objective function has to be always maximization problem. Understood? If it is minimization, I told how to convert. It will be going to be converted by multiplying -1 throughout the objective function. Then it will be converted into maximization. It is similar to again simplex method. All inequality has to be converted into equation. This is also you are discussed in the last video class. Okay, same thing here with respect to simplex method. And RHS of all constants should be non-negative. Same point with already you are discussed in simplex method. It means that in the constraint the RHS values will be there. No, all the RHS values should be positive. If it is negative, again that particular constant should be multiplied by -1 in order to convert our RHS value into positive values. Okay, next point, the constant or inequality with sign less than 1 can be converted, less than equal to can be converted into equation by adding slack variable. Understood? This is what you have done in simplex method also. Whenever our constant having sign less than equal to, that will going to be converted into equation or equality sign by adding some positive value into the left hand side of the constant. That positive value is going to be called as slack variable. It is also same with respect to simplex method. Then the constant or inequality with a sign greater than is converted into equation by subtracting a surplus variable, and also listen here, and also at the same time adding artificial variable. See, you are going to find one more difference with respect to between simplex method and big M method. See, in simplex method, whenever you are having a sign with respect to constant having greater than sign, there you are going to subtracting to the LHS, okay, to convert it into equation. That is called that positive variable which is going to be subtracting to the LHS constraint. That positive variable is called what? Surplus variable. Surplus variable. But along with this, in big M method, we are going to add some other variable here. That variable is called what? Artificial variable. Artificial variable. Once again I am going to tell you, see here, in simplex method, whenever a constant having greater than equal to sign, there you are going to add nothing but you are going to subtract some positive value in the LHS of the constraint in order to convert it into equation. That positive value which is going to be subtracting in the LHS of the constraint, that is called surplus variable. That's what you have done in simplex method. When you come for big M method, apart from that also you are going to add some variable, something variable you are going to add. That variable is called what? Artificial variable. Why you need to add artificial variable? Just look at the equation here. Suppose examples here, 2x plus 3, 2x1 plus 3x2 greater than or equal to 10. Okay, in simplex method what you have done? 2x1 plus 3x2 minus s1 equal to 10 you have written in the last previous method. Okay, suppose while solving, if you got the value of x1 x2, nothing but intersection point will be 0. Suppose example x1 and x2 will be 0, then what about minus? If suppose I am talking about simplex method, before going for here big M method, just if I am asking about talking about simplex method. In simplex method, if you see here, directly I am going to write 2x1 plus 3x2 minus s1 equal to 10 I have written. Suppose if the x1 and x2 values will be 0, then what will happen? Minus s1 is equal to 10 now. It means that s1 is equal to minus 10. What is the condition here for us? The condition is that all the variables should be non-negative. Should be non-negative. It means that x1, x2, etc. and s1, s2 all should be greater than equal to 0. Okay, but in my situation here, before going for adding your artificial variable, if x1 and x2 will be 0 suppose, then my s1 value will be minus 10. It is not going to happen now. So in order to convert your negative into positive, some more positive value or something variable going to add to the left hand side of the constant, that variable is called what? Artificial variable. Your artificial variable going to be used or introduced in order to avoid negative sign to your RHS values. You got the idea or not? That's the reason we're going to add one variable apart from slack and surplus variable. We're going to add artificial variable. This artificial variable will be introduced whenever your constant having greater than equal to sign. Okay, so this is what you have discussed. This is what the fifth point we're going to tell about. Next, if a constant is already present as an equation, then we still had an artificial variable to add. What is the meaning here? Suppose if the constant already had an equation, nothing but it has a equality sign, then also we are going to add same artificial variable to left hand side of the constant. For example, here 3x1 plus x2 equal to 3. Suppose if the x1 and x2 will be 0, then 0 equal to 3. No value for that. That's the reason, in order to avoid that situation, you will going to add one more variable to left hand side of the constant. That variable is called artificial variable. Artificial variable. Understood? Now a2 equal to, if you add here 0 0, then a2 equal to 3. You have a certain meaning for that. Okay, that's the reason in big M method you are going to add artificial variables. Artificial variables will be variables will going to be used whenever a constant having equation or equality sign or greater than equal to sign. Understood? See, this is what the difference you're going to find in big M method with respect to simplex method. We're going to read out now 7th point. When objective function is written in the standard format, all the slack surplus variables have 0 as coefficients. Yes or no? In the objective function, if you are written whatever the slack and surplus variable you have written, okay, if you are same whenever you are going to add or subtract your slack variables and surplus variables, same value you need to be represented in the objective function, and their coefficient is always in the objective function is 0. That's what is saying here. And next, the artificial variables have a coefficient of minus m to 8. Understood? See, whatever the variables you are using now, for example here, if your constant will be there, Suppose if the constant content greater than equal to less than equal to, then you need to add three variable, that is less than equal to sign slack variable. If it is greater than equal to constant, then you are going to add two variables, one is surplus and another one is slack variables. Understood? Same thing you need to represent objective function now. Okay, for slack and surplus variable, always when you are writing an objective function, their coefficients will be always 0. Whereas for artificial variable, you are going to write its coefficient in the objective function is always minus m, where m by itself is a huge positive number greater than any other quantity that appears in the problem. If you write positive m, that will become greater number in any, nothing but, suppose if you see in the problem if you have 7 or 9, it is always greater than 9. It means that if you write m, that is a huge number, that will going to be huge positive number greater than another quantity in the problem. Therefore m minus any number is going to take as a positive. Understood? Once again I am going to repeat, for artificial variable while representing an objective function, its coefficient will be always minus m. If you write m, simply m, positive m, it becomes huge positive value than other quantity in the problem. That's why m minus anything will be considered as a positive, or minus m will be considered as a negative, and quantity which is m in it will be retained as it is throughout the problem. The value m will now going to be evaluated, and there is no need to calculate the value of m. Understood? Next, go for next year. In simplex procedure, the first set of basic variables in the initial table are the slack variables, whereas in Big M method, the first set of basic variables are the slack and artificial variables. Surplus variable not going to be considered. See here, what you heard in the last previous method, in simplex method, the basic variables, or representing the table, the basic variables always are going to take as slack and surplus variable. Whereas in Big M method, the slack and artificial will going to be take as a basic variable, whereas surplus will not going to be taken as a basic variable in Big M method. Always will going to take only slack and artificial variable, because since surplus having minus 1 as their coefficient do not yield a unit matrix, it doesn't going to allow for us to get a unit matrix. The next point with what, the same set of steps need to be explained. Again, similar to your simplex procedure you are going to follow for getting the Big M method. The difference till now what you have got is, whenever you are having a sign greater than equal to, then we need to add, along with surplus variable, we need to add artificial variable also. And also whenever the constant having equation, nothing but it is a equality sign, then also we need to add variable called artificial variable. Understood? And one more difference is that in Big M method, the first set of basic variable we are going to choose on, those are slack and artificial, not surplus variable, as you have taken in as you have taken in simplex method. Okay, see, these are the important key points so far you have discussed. Okay, next, using this method, using these key points, let us solve some important problem using Big M method. See, let us solve this problem now. Problem number 1. Okay, here just I told, whenever you are solving simplex method or Big M method, just you observe first whether objective function is minimization or maximization. Since our objective function is minimization, okay, first minimize, so I am going to read out minimization z is equal to 2x1 plus x2 and subject to the constant x1 plus 2x2 less than equal to 4, 4x1 plus 3x2 greater than equal to 6, 3x1 plus x2 equal to 3, and x1 x2 greater than equal to 0. Okay, this is the problem they have given. First we need to convert minimization problem into maximization, nothing but we need to multiply minus 1 to the objective function. Now see here in solution phase, here I have converted here the minimization z is equal to what, 2x1 plus x2. Now we have to convert minimization into maximization, just multiply your minus 1, your maximum z is equal to, minus z can be replaced by z dash. Okay, minus 2x2 minus 2x1 minus x2. This is what your conversion from your minimization to maximization. Okay, this will going to be just discussed later by after discussing this constraint now. Okay, now look at here. First constant is what now? The first constant is given up to x1 plus 2x2 less than equal to 4. I told whenever you are having sign less than in the constant, we need to add slack variable. So here I have converted into inequality sign into equation by adding slack variable, that is x1 plus 2x2 plus s1 equal to 4. Okay, whereas s1 is equal to what? Slack variable. Similarly, go for next second constraint, that is 4x1 plus 3x2 greater than equal to 6 now. Okay, in big game method, just now you have discussed, whenever you are having a constant greater than equal to sign, now we need to add surplus variable along with artificial variable. Okay, that is 4x1 plus 3x2 plus a1. Here a1 is called artificial variable with respect to constant 2. Okay, minus s2, nothing but s2, nothing but it is a surplus variable equal to 6. Now you go for third constant, that is 3x1 plus x2 equal to 3. And also you have discussed, whenever you are having equality sign or equation, again one more variable you need to add, that is artificial variable. Here 3x1 plus x2 plus a2 equal to 3, and all the variables s1, s2, x1, x2, a1, a2 all should be greater than equal to 0. Understood? Here s1 slack variable, s2 surplus variable, and a1, a2 artificial variable with respect to second constraint and third constraint. Okay, this is the first step you need to follow for solving using big M method. Or also in case of simplex method also, we need to convert your inequality sign into equality sign or equation. Okay, now same thing, once you have converted your standard format, again same procedure like your simplex method. Okay, that is creation of table now. Same terms you have used here. C1 nothing but C suffix 1 nothing but coefficient of objective function. See, let us discuss now what are the coefficients that will be in objective function now. Okay, see here in objective function, my coefficients will be what? Here for all the variables, my coefficients will be -2, -1. Okay, for s1 0, for s2 0. Okay, see one more thing before going for that. See, whatever the variables we have added in the constant, I told same thing should be represented to the objective function. Understood? For slack and surplus variable, always, whereas in big M method or in simplex method, whose coefficients will be always 0. That's what I have represented, 0 s1 plus 0 s2. But whereas for artificial variables, we need to represent -m and -m. Those are coefficients of artificial variable in objective function. And understood? And if I write simply m, it will become huge number. That's why we need to represent -m. Understood? Same procedure. Next, we need to see what are the coefficient of basic variables in the objective function. -2, -1. Okay, 0, 0, -m. That's what I have represented here. -2, -1, 0, 0, -m. The first representing now coefficient of objective function in with respect to variables. Coefficient of objective functions. Next, second row now. BV nothing but basic variables here. I told the basic variables always you need to take in big M method is only slack variables and artificial variables, not surplus variable. That's why I represent S1, A1, A2, S1, A1 and A2, whose coefficients in objective function we need to represent it in CBO column, nothing but C suffix BO column, nothing but coefficient of basic variable in objective function. It's for S1 objective function variable is 0 here. Similarly for A1 and A2 it is -m. That's what I represented now. Understood? Now these are the values you have written here: 1 2 1 0 0 and 4 3 0, -1 1 0 and 3 1 0 0 0 1. All are coefficients of variables from the first constraint, second constraint and third constraint, along with RHS value or constants value from the first constraint, second constraint, third constraint. Just look at here. Here 463 are RHS value with respect to first, second, third constraints, and whose coefficients values you are written in this. See in third row here, 1, 2, 1, 0, 0, 0. All are coefficients from the first constraint, and here also quotient of variables from the second constraint and third constraint now. Okay, now see, after representing all those things, what the next step? Now we need to calculate now z equation. How to calculate z equation? For z equation you have a formula, that is summation of CBO into xi column minus CO. Nothing but coefficient of basic variable in objective function with respect to xi. Nothing but xi variable, xy, x1, x2, like that variables will be there. That you need to multiply minus coefficient of objective function. Understood? See here, nothing but this summation of CBO, this column with respect to first x1, similarly this column with respect to x2, similarly this column with respect to s1, s2, a1, a2. Okay, minus of corresponding coefficient of objective function. Understood? Let us solve how I got these z equations. Now let us look into this. Okay, 0 into 1 example I will tell you, that is here 0 into 1 plus minus m into 4 plus minus m into 3. Okay, 0 into anything, it will be 0, and it will become minus 4m plus minus 3m. If you add, it will become minus 7m minus of minus 2, it will become 2. See here, 0 into 1 plus minus m into 4 plus minus m into 3 minus of minus 2, it will become now minus 7m plus 2. Okay, that's what, just under x1 column my z equation minus m plus 2. Similarly for now go for x2 column. Similarly 0 into 2, 0, it will become minus m into 3 minus 3m. Similarly here it will become minus 4m, minus of minus become plus 1 here. Similarly for this column you go here, 0 into 1, 0, 0 into minus m into 0, 0, minus m into 0, 0, minus of anything, 0 will be there, it will be 0. Next 0 into 0, 0, minus m into minus 1 into plus m, and it will be 0, and nothing in the objective function, coefficient objective function will become m. Similarly 0 into 0, 0, plus minus m into minus m, okay, and minus m. Okay, minus m plus minus m, it will be 0, it will become here minus m into 1 minus m, it will be 0, minus of minus m, it will become minus m plus m, it will become 0. And similarly 0 into 0, 0, minus m into 0, 0, minus m into 1 minus m, and minus m plus, sorry, minus of minus m, it will become, again it will be 0 here. See, everything are represented now here with respect to formula. Okay, now go for next equation. What is the next step now? After finding out your z equation, then we need to select which one is key column for that. For z, based upon z equation. See here, since my z equation, just you look at here whether my z equation become positive values or not. If the values are greater than or equal to 0, you stop it here and get the corresponding values of RHS with respect to basic variables. Since my objective function, my z equation contains minus 7. Understood? Always remember, minus m in plus anything, it will become negative. M minus any value will become positive. Understood? M minus anything value will be considered as a positive, and minus m anything will be considered as a negative. Since our value is minus m, understood, and we need to go for next further process. Okay, in order to get for key column, we need to select maximum value in the z equation with negative sign. Here maximum with negative sign is what? Minus 7m plus 2. Okay, this corresponding column is called what now? Key column, or it is also called as the entering variable, and then x1 is called entering variable. Understood? Once you got the key column, corresponding you go for finding out your key row now. Okay, key row. How to calculate my key row? Just look at here. See, this is my key column. How to calculate my key row? Okay, whenever you represented key column, now the values which are there under key column 1, 4, 3 will be there. No, that values will be the in order to get our in order to determine how to determine your key row. The key row will be determined by RHS value divided by corresponding key column elements with respect to x1. Nothing but here. Here our value is now here RH. In order to get key row now, RHS divided by these values. Nothing but key column elements with respect to row wise. Nothing but 4 divided by 1, it will become 4. Similarly 6 divided by 4, it will become 1 by 1.5. Similarly your key row RHS divided by this value, nothing but 3 by 3 will become 1 now. Understood? So far you have calculated, so you have find out key column. Okay, so key column is going to be found out by using Z equation. The Z equation says that whenever you are having all the positive value, you stop the solution. Suppose if any get negative value, that we need to go for next iteration. In that, how to calculate or how to find out your key column. The key column is going to be find out whenever the variable having maximum with negative sign, that we need to consider that corresponding column is key column. Now in order to get your key row, what you have to do is now RHS value will be there. No, just RHS value divided by corresponding key column elements. For example, for third row RHS value is 4 and corresponding key column element for that is for row is 1. Similarly for 6, corresponding key column element is 4, 6 by 4. Similarly 3 divided by 3, it become 1. Now for calculating for key row, or it is also called as leaving variable, for that we need to select the minimum non-negative value in a ratio column. Here minimum value is 1. Okay, that entire row is now, it is called what? Key row or leaving variable now. Understood? Now see, this will become now this A2 row become leaving variable. Understood? See, now here x1 is going to take place in case nothing but A2 is going to be replaced by your x1. That's why it is called what? Entering variable, and this row is called leaving variable. Intersection of key column key row is called what? Key element. That is my key element will be 3. Okay, now just replace, just you go for the next table. Now see here, in case of here instead of writing A2, now I have replaced with x1, and whose coefficient in the objective function is -2. So table is everything is as it is, but here the values will be changed now. The coefficient of variables in the first constant, second constant, third constant, along with RHS value, everything will be changed now. Okay, here whatever the row is there now, see here x1 row. So x1 row values will be found out by old equation element divided by key element. Old equation element. See here how I got x1 row now. X1 row is going to be calculated by old equation values now. Here 3, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, all are called what? Here old equation elements. Understood? My here first old element is what? 3. Key elements here 3, and corresponding key element is 3. 3 by 3 what now? It will become now 1 here. See, that's what you have done. That is 3 by 3 is equal to 1. Similarly, my second element is what now? 1, and divided by key element, old element divided by, if you do it, it will become 1 by 3. That's what I have represented, 1 by 3. Okay, similar here 0 by 3, 0 by 3, 0 by 3, and it will become last, this value will become 1 by 3, or represented 1 by 3. Okay, now once you represent this one, and how to calculate remaining S1 row and A1 row now. Understood? You got the idea or not? And here also RHS value also 3, and key element will be 3. If you will become 1 for this entire x1 row, the values will be represented. Now how to calculate now A1 and S1 row? You have a formula. Similarly, we have discussed in simplex method. Old element minus corresponding key column coefficient into corresponding new equation element. Here new equation element nothing but the value just now we have calculated, that is x1 row is nothing but new equation element or new equation pivot element. Okay, now we're going to calculate S1 row and A1 row now. S1 row, old element here what? Just you go for the first element for S1. for S1 old element is what? 1. Okay, 1. Corresponding key column element is what now? Corresponding key column element is 1. See, one thing you remember, this key column element is constant for entire row, and similarly for A1, 4 is the key column element for this entire row. Understood? 1 is the key column and constant for that entire row. Similarly, if you go for A1, for entire row, that is 4. Okay, now old element is 1 minus of corresponding column entering column coefficient is 1 into new element x1. For just now, for new element is for values is 1. If you do it, you're going to get 0 for S1. Here I have written 0. Okay, similarly go for next one. Similarly, old element is now what? Old element is 2 here. Okay, and corresponding key column coefficient is 1, and corresponding next new element is for this here. This is the new element here. For corresponding x1, it has taken 1. For similarly for x2 under x1 row, it is 1 by 3. This is entering variable now, new variable. If you do it, you're going to get 5 by 3. That's what you represented, 5 by 3. Similarly, go for here next one. That is old element is 1. Okay, similar for all here 0. Understood? 1. Corresponding column coefficient, key column coefficient is 1, and entering variable is 0. If you do it, you're going to get 1. Similarly, for old values are all remaining are 0, and minus of here for column element will be 1, and remaining will be 0. If you do it 0. Similarly, for last old value 0 minus of corresponding key column will 1 into 0, 0, 0. Similarly, here last will be 0 minus 1 into 1 by 3 here, 1 by 3. If you do it, minus 1 by 3. See, these are the rows we are going to represent it using that formula. Similarly, go for A1 now. For A1 also, see here, my first element is here 4, and key element also 4. Always it will be 1 now. Understood? It will become 1 now. Understood? 4 minus of 4 into corresponding entering element is 1. If you go it, you are going to get 0. That's what I have represented, 0 for A1 column. Sorry, A1 row under x1. Similarly, here old element is 3 minus of this entire column. For entire column it will be 0. Understood? We got the idea, and like this we are going to calculate for further values. Okay, similarly, see here again we need to go for here 0 old value minus 1 here. Just I made a mistake here. It is always 4 4 on attendance is just I copied here. Just sorry for that. I'm going to made a mistake here. Just we need to write 0 minus 4 into 0 for corresponding value. It will be 0. Simply minus 1 old value minus of 4 into 0 will become minus 1. Again 1 into minus 4 into 0 will become 1, and here 0 into minus here minus into 4 you need to write. Sorry, here instead of 1 we need to write 4. Just I'm going to, sorry for that, I'm going to write and rewrite the values in PDF in notes. I'm going to write as a 4, and I'm going to send it in PDF files. Okay, now it will become minus 4 by 3. Minus 4 by 3. It will become minus 4 by 3. Values is 5 by 3, 0, minus 1, 1, minus 4 by 3, and RHS value, old value will be now. Understood? If you do it, you're going to get 6 old value minus 4 into 1, you're going to get 2. Understood? See, this is how you go to calculate your new value, that is S1 row and A1 row. Okay, sorry, once again I made a mistake here. Instead of writing 1, you need to write always for entire column. For entire, this is for entire column, this will become now, see, this is become corresponding key column element. Okay, I made a mistake here. Instead of 1, just you write 4 here, and remaining values will become 0 minus 1, but last value become minus 4 by 3. Okay, I represented now. Okay, now once you calculate the S1 and A1 value, S1 and A1 values, next again same procedure, go for Z equation now. Similarly, go for Z equation. Same, what is the Z equation here? For Z equation, again summation of CBO into XI column now, minus of CO, nothing coefficient objective function, 0 into, first you start with here, 0 into 0, minus m into 0, 0, minus 2, okay, minus of minus 2, it becomes 0 here. Similarly, go for this 0 and minus 5 by m, 5 minus 5m divided by 3, and minus 2 by 3, minus of minus plus. If you do it, you're going to get minus m plus 1, divided by 3, and here similarly we go for this 0 into 1 0 minus m into minus m plus m, and 0 into 0 it will become m. Similarly go for this 0 into 0 and minus m, 1 minus m into 1 minus m, and 0 it will become minus m. Okay, sorry, minus minus it will become positive m. Similarly go for 0 into 0 minus m into 1 minus m, minus 2 into 0 0, and minus m minus of minus m it will become 0 now. Similarly go for 0 into minus, it will be 0 minus m minus 4 plus 4 it become plus nothing but 4m divided by 3, and minus 2 by 3 minus or minus plus, if you do it you are going to get 7m minus 2 divided by 3. Understood? Now just you search for any positive values. This is a positive value, everything positive, but here I got minus 5m, that is always negative, and this column will become now what? Key column. This corresponding nothing but here x2 is called entering variable. Now you go for search for key row. Now for that this entire column, now see here this enter is key column, that is entering variable, and this how to calculate. Now just now I told how to calculate your key row. Key row values will be calculated by RHS with respect to corresponding key column element with respect to certain row. The particular row key column element is now 5 by 3. For this one 5 by 3, it is become 1 by 3. Understood? Now 3 by divided by 5 by 3 if you do it 1.8. Similarly 2 divided by 5 by 3 if you do it 1.2, and 1 divided by 1 by 3 will become 3 now. For calculating in the ratio column which is having minimum positive value, that we need to consider as a key row for us. Here key row is what? A1. That is, this is the leaving variable, and x2 is entering variable. Nothing but instead of A1 in the next table you need to write x2, and corresponding values minus 1 you need to write. Now, see here, that's what I have written here. Instead of A1 I have written x2, and corresponding coefficient value in the objective function is minus 1. Okay, now which is row now, and now you need to calculate again for new values here. For this one entire row, nothing but A1, we need to calculate easily by dividing the entire row elements. Nothing but 5 by 3 will be there, no 0 first. For this one the old elements divided by key element. Here intersection between the key row and key column is key element. That key element is what? 5 by 3. Now 5 by 3 will be going to be divided by all the variables in this corresponding row. 0 divided by 5 by 3 0, 5 by 3 divided by 5 by 3 1, 0 divided by anything 0. Here will become minus 3 by 5, here 3 by 5, and also it will become next minus 4 by 3. See the values I have written here, 0 1 0 minus 3 by 3 by 5 minus 4 by 5. Similarly for this also it will become 6 by 5, 6 by 5, and remaining S1 and X1, S1 and X1 same value we need to calculate here. How to calculate now? Same, just now I told here S1 and X2 and X1 variable. Now S1 and X1 variables will be calculated using same old value equation corresponding value. I got the values here. Okay, yes or no? Here for the key row value can be calculated, nothing but here X2 value will be calculated. X2 value will going to be calculated by considering your old element with divided by key element. Remaining S1 and X1 values will be calculated by formula called old element minus corresponding key column element, old value minus corresponding key column element into new value element. Here X2 value, X2 row new variables. After doing this I got the values, and here I go for again further step, that is Z equation. Here Z equation will be calculated by here 0 into 0 0 minus 2 minus 2 minus plus 2 will become, again if you 0 0 minus 1 into minus 1 into 1 minus 1 0 minus 1 minus 1 it will become 0. Again similarly 0 into 1 0 minus 1 into 0 0 minus 2 into 0 0 and 0. Similarly 0 into minus 1 0, here minus 1 into minus 3 by 5 will become plus 3 by 5, sorry plus 3 by 5, and it will become minus 2 by 5, it will get 1 by 5, it will get it. And similarly 0 into 1 0 minus will become 3 minus 3 by 5, and it will become plus 2 by 5 minus of m, if you do it get m minus 1 by 5, it is positive value. Similarly if you go to do it, you will going to get m minus 2 by 5. Always m minus anything will be positive. That's why all the Z equation values are positive, and corresponding basic variable with respect to RHS we need to take now. Here for S1 leave it, our x2 is 6 by 5 and S1 is 3 by 5. Okay, in optimization equation solution, that is an objective function, nothing but your objective function is minimization, that is z is equal to what, 2x1 plus x2, nothing but z is equal to 2 into 3 by 5 and plus 6 by 5. If you do it, you're going to get minimization z is equal to 12 by 5. Understood? See, this is how we're going to calculate your LPP for getting solution using Big M method. I told the Big M method and simplex methods are both are same. Only two difference you're going to find out. Wherever you're greater than equal to sign, there you're going to add one more variable called artificial variable. And in creation of table, in the first step, the basic variables will always going to take as slack and artificial variable, and here surprise will not going to be taken in Big M method. See, this is how you're going to solve the solution for getting LPP using Big M method. If you have any doubt regarding this one, please comment on Google Classroom so that I'm going to rectify your doubts and I'm going to clarify in the next video class. See, understood? Thank you.